followed by the doctorate degree from Oxford University, England in 1982. Contemporary is an Oxford graduate. He started his academic career as a graduate assistant at the University of Toronto in 1978, and later moved to the University of Ibadan College of Medicine in 1985. He has received several international cancer research fellowships, tenable at Oxford University in 1985, International Agency for Research on Cancer, Ikeji Lyons, France, 1986. The Kenneth Norris Cancer Center, University of South California, Los Angeles, USA, 1989-1992. Worked as a research scientist at the Biology Department, University of Iowa State, USA, 1997 to 2004. And at the University of Wisconsin Medical School and the Comprehensive Cancer Center, Madison, Wisconsin, 2005 to 2008. He was appointed a professor of biochemistry and pioneer director of the Center for Molecular Biosciences and Biotechnology at the Ikeji University of Agriculture in 2010 to 2013. From the later post, he became the pioneering head of the Department of Medical Biochemistry in 2014 to 2017. College of Medicine Sciences at Ikeji University, Ikeji State. He is also a author of 3 books, namely Potential Anti-Cancer and Antiviral Agents from West African Phytochemicals, 2011. UN Press, ISBN 978-978-5304046. Elementary Aro National, 2020. UN Press, ISBN 978-978-578-2782. And Potential Human Carcinogenic and Anti-Cancer Agents from Phytochemicals of West Africa, University of Nigeria, UN Press, 2013, 213 pages, ISBN 978-571-737. He holds a joint US patent for compound NM404, a novel tumor selective diagnostic imaging and therapeutic agent for human cancers. United States patent number 076-32644. Calendar, December 2009. I present to you Professor Joseph O. Ezuma to take the stage.
Your enemies, the Ezen of the Kingdom, Dr. Ikeji and the Ikeji Council, please permit me to adopt the existing protocol, which has been well established by the MC and the chairman of the occasion. Your Eminence, because wherever you come, wherever you can, go ahead and check over the delivering this pioneer Ikeji Aro guest lecture in what promises to be a one-man series of enlightened lectures highlighting the significant contributions of the Aro Kingdom to the world. The title of my lecture this evening is Phytomedicinal and Food Value Contributions of Selected Indigenous Aro and Other Eco Plants to the world. Now, the paper before you now has an abstract and runs down to other parts of the paper, which is how we create scientific terminology. And so, I will spare us the problem of going through the abstract, since we are going to peruse the paper itself. So we go to the introduction. The impact of the Aro records and settlements in the former eastern Nigeria and beyond was very beneficial, as such early contact was instrumental to dynamic cultural exchanges and subsequent developmental strides which swept across the region in the wake of such interactions. It is to be expected, therefore, that widespread settlements and infiltration of the new communities by the Aro would lead to the impartation of peculiar cultural traits, food habits, and useful medicinal plants to the host communities. 3 instances exemplifying this trend may be found in the appendage of the suffix Aro to plant names to indicate their place of origin, as in Eda Aro for the genus of the cocoyam. I'm going to spare the burden of reading through the scientific names of these plants. They are there, so you can refer to them later. And then we have Achiaro for the West African tropical rainforest. Both designations found in other parts of the land, particularly in the Western area. And this is carried in the Indian book by Thirdly, the castor oil plant is known as Ikeji Aro, also Ikeji and Ikeji in many parts of the land. This has been described by Ikeji Aro. Now, the widespread Aro settlements in the land and beyond could also explain the existence of certain common food sources in the region. A consequential implication of such cultural interaction would be the inference that the existence of specific Aro names for certain plants, different or varying from those used by other Igbo, is suggestive of 2 significant reflections. In one, that such names derive from the influence of neighboring communities to the Aro, the most prominent and closest being the Igbo, where such names as Akapa for corn and Erese for rice were adopted by the Aro, whereas the common Igbo names for those 2 items are Oka and Usikapa respectively. In the second inference, the existence of specific Aro names for plants different from other Igbo and not traceable to any nearby, distant, or known sources, which suggest that Aro origins derived from a more ancient society. Here we must, of course, to consider the implication of the situation of that statement. If it is true that some of the names that are not familiar to people or areas around us may have come from ancient societies, it is therefore a challenge to anthropologists and sociologists to dig in and find out if that is true. And therefore, it will provide us some images to ancient historical societies that may have some bearing with us. That's like and the few examples of such differences are here with you, as Adobo in Aro, for the vegetable known as Oha in other Igbo societies. Similarly, Ahuji in Aro from Chuan, which leaves serve as food Then you have enemy in Aro for egusi, a soup ingredient which may also be eaten as a cake snack. More cases are some of this presentation to which the audience may refer to. And the food and medicinal values of a selected number of such plants are here profiled, just to underscore the significance of their contributions to the health, general well-being, and culinary practices of this geographical zone. So we look at a few values. The Igbo and neighbors in the southeastern region are familiar with the food values and uses of the plants discussed earlier, and so only brief mentions of the short literature. These are described in alphabetical order with Aro names followed in brackets by other Igbo names. The first again is Aro. In English it's called African root. The tree is commonly grown in family living quarters. In the yellowish green brown leaves serve as an vegetable source. Then we have Ahuchi or Chan, This is a shrub cultivated around family homes, which leaves are very much valuable for their food and medicinal uses. For food uses, the leaves provide a distinctive flavor to food, especially pepper soups and meat or fish salads, where in the latter, spice leaves are sprinkled on the meat or fish as a seasoning. We have Ikeji Aro, for African content. From the green fruits of this tree are obtained brownish seeds used as condiment to flavor many dishes and sauces. It is also a special ingredient in the popular Israeli meat dish, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. We have Iba, what I call it, a climbing shrub with winding stems and elegant haze on the same course. It's cultivated in farms and gardens alike. The dried seeds are hard and blackish in color. The seeds are boiled to remove the hard bottom, then pulverized to produce a whitish powder used to take in soups. Many of our young people are not familiar with this food source. Then we have Okazi or Okazi. Okazi is a climbing diana of popular forest, which has recently been also domesticated and cultivated in local environments living countries. The green leaves, when sliced, constitute a popular vegetable in soups and are also used as a salad with a source of red palm oil and potassium, which we commonly call oil. The salad may be garnished with sliced onions, pieces of meat, dried fish, or stockfish. The most popular type of Okazi soup is that mixed with water leaf and served. And the most popular type of Okazi soup is that mixed with water leaf and served at some restaurants. It is interesting that most people call this Afan soup. Whereas we know that it is not. That's a misnomer. Afan soup is just Okazi and it includes everything. The correct name for Afan or Okazi and Italian soup is called. So we have another one, Okokwa Benke, which is mango. It's called Pabenke by other Igbo. The mango tree which produces this delicious golden yellow fruits. When ripe, grows commonly in Igboland and the West African region, including other suitable tropical parts of the world. Then we have Okokwa, or by other African mangoes. This is a tree which fruits resemble the mango fruit hence the name. The fruits are smaller than the average mango fruit and are equally yellowish in color when ripe. The fruit has a slightly bitter taste, and seeds from the ripe fruits are dried, pulverized, and used to thicken soups to give a thick, slimy consistency. Then we have a wine, or pakan by others, the oil bean seed. It's a tree found in bushes of villages and sometimes is cultivated near homes. The oil bean seeds are hauled from the pods when the latter desiccate sufficiently and while still on the trees as flat, dark brown beans of about 6 centimeters in average diameter size. Now, when cooked, sliced and fermented, these constitute the delicacy known as uva, which may be eaten in various forms as salads, soups, or mixed with starchy staples such as yam and porridge. Now we go to the general medicinal properties of some of the plants we have in Aro and in the land. Now, retail medicinal properties of these plants may be obtained from specialized textbooks, such as that edited by the Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency in 2008, reference as Ikeji Aro 2008. You may also find some of them in the books that the authors will find. Some of them are there. For our present purposes, however, the effort is restricted to identify specific and significant pharmacotherapeutic values for a few interesting indigenous Arabic plants and providing one example for each activity I'm going to mention as given herein. The first is antifungal activity, and you have Ikeji Aro here. In addition to the food value of an alternative carbohydrate source, Ikeji Aro has been recommended as a tolerable form of starch for diabetic patients. And recent findings further demonstrate potential antifungal activity against such human skin diseases caused by trade fungi, Candida albicans, Trichophyton rubrum, and Cryptococcus reformans. This work was done by a Brazilian in 2005. And the group screened various medicinal and fruit-bearing plants used against skin diseases by the Brazilian population and identified Ikeji Aro to possess the most antifungal activity. Now, as a surgical transplant potential, we have another plant, the Ikeji Aro. Evidence was adduced in experimental animals that the polymer obtained from the plant has no statistical difference in tissue reaction compared to that provoked by conventional titanium implants. The work was done by from Brazil in 2012. Now, this finding is of interest in surgical practice, where research for non-viral treatments for conventional materials provoking less tissue reactions in transplant is significant. The next one is the immunomodulatory properties, and we have Upa-Benke or mango. From this, the edible mango tree was obtained a yellowish compound known as mangiferin, a glucosyl plant structure given in Figure 1. Mangiferin was found to induce extensive in vitro proliferation of marine splenocytes and thymocytes at doses of 5 to 40 micrograms per day, as well as activating the splenocytes of tumor hosts at early and late stages of tumor growth. Work was done by Dr. Now, other properties of the compound include the fact that it has pronounced metal-chelating properties, suggesting that mangiferin may be a potential immunomodulatory agent. Furthermore, it was also shown to inhibit cytotoxic action of ionizing radiation at doses of 6 and 8 grams. In a study designed to test the potential of mangiferin to reduce the cytotoxic effect of X-ray radiation in normal human immunocompetent cells and progenitor ganglion cells. Work done by Ikeji in 2010. Now, anti-cancer activities, there are two forms in most studies. We have anti-cancer chemotherapy or cancer chemotherapy. So we take one example in either. So for cancer chemotherapy, from the edible bitter cola, acarine we call it, or acarine by other names, a mixture of 3 biflavonoid compounds, GB1, GB2, KF named colaviron was isolated and successfully deployed to prevent or reduce liver toxicity states in animal studies. In which case, if you administered any compound which is toxic to the liver, like carbon tetrachloride, like alpha amanitin, like colloid, there are many of them, you find that this colaviron will reduce the toxicity states in the animals. And that's the structure of colaviron. Now, the pioneering investigation, 2000, which I was involved, was later initiated to ascertain the potential of colaviron as a chemopreventive agent against human liver cancer induced in vitro by the most potent hepatocarcinogen, aflatoxin B1. Now, the study consisted of investigations into the molecular mechanism of colaviron's mode of action by determining the potential of AB to inhibit aflatoxin B1 hepatotoxic and genotoxic action in the human liver-derived cell like FG2. I was going to explain that a little bit. Now, the thinking was, if this compound, colaviron, is able to reduce liver toxicity states by almost any chemical you use, then it is possible, the thought was, that there is a very toxic, not actually toxic only, but genotoxic and carcinogenic compound, aflatoxin B1, which everybody knows can cause liver cancer in animals, and we suspect it's also a hepatocarcinogen. So the idea was, what if this colaviron can also reduce not just the toxicity, but the genotoxicity of this aflatoxin B1, which causes cancer? And that, and we've been trying to do that study. We had to use a human cell line, human liver cell line. So the results developed in the human situation. Results demonstrated that colaviron significantly regulated the expression of major genes involved in human aflatoxin B1 metabolism to enhance the lactase detoxification, thus preventing AFP-induced hepatocarcinogenesis. This was in the year 2 it was published. And it was published in the European Journal of Cancer Prevention. A subsequent study involving total human genome expression analysis, also called microarray gene change. I will stop there and just explain that. Now, the microarray expression or total human genome expression is an analysis in which you test what number of genes in the cell can be expressed or regulated by any compound. And so, not just to see that this compound was able to reduce genotoxicity, the question was, who knows how many other genes it can be affected, which is why it is so good to signal the genotoxicity. And so you do this genome-wide study, all the genes in the human liver cell that can be regulated by this compound will be expressed, and you can check all of them. And now, when this work was done, I was able to identify 34,600 genes, all affected by this. And from there, it was possible to determine not just which genes were involved, but of liver cancer causation by this chemical. And before now, everybody believed that aflatoxin B1 mutates the genes, the DNA of cells, and therefore will lead to cancer conversion of those cells. But what I found here showed that that may not be true. It's a completely different theory or hypothesis of how that compound causes cancer. In fact, it looked like it was attacking the cellular matrix and causing fibrosis in the cause of cancer. So, to cancer chemotherapy, for example, gamma-linolenic acid or GLM is an essential polyunsaturated fatty acid present in large amounts, 46% of fatty acid content, as is biological precursor linolenic. Scientists in another laboratory independently provided corroboratory experimental evidence in support of this hypothesis, thus strengthening the hypothesis and conferring it with scientific legitimacy. There is hope, therefore, that this hypothesis will serve as a basis for the design of new therapeutic derivatives of GLA against the dreaded gliomas and metastatic mammary adenocarcinomas. By the way, if you Google one book on anywhere you go, you will see that hypothesis very well explained, so you can read it better. It's called the Marco hypothesis. Now, in a related investigation, the molecular mechanisms regulate the FAT2, which is responsible for conversion of acids of GLA from chrysanthemum flowers as a new flavonoid manufactured by DHA. This new compound exhibits strong HIV-1 integrase inhibitor activity with IC50 values of about 7.2 microgram, as well as HIV inhibitory potentials in a cell culture assay, employing the HIV-1 subtype infected epithelial cells. It is noteworthy that apigenetic derivatives known as isocytosines were selected in 1983 from the leaves of an indigenous plant, which is on Kazima, we have described it before, which is a common vegetable in the land, used for soups and salads. Now, therefore, high concentrations of the apigenetic derivatives may therefore be administered to patients with HIV infection or recommended to be ingested in high quantities as needed to augment any orthodox therapeutic regimens. If this compound possess anti-HIV activities as described, it should be emphasized that such prescriptions should be enabled only after initial animal and subsequent relevant human phases trials. That is, you don't just get any compound that seems to be active in animal studies and you administer them to humans. We have to go through the normal process of testing and accepting a new drug, so we have to have this one process to trials before we can accept it. And yes. So in summary, this is a summary of medicinal and food value contributions of selected Aro and other Igbo plants to the peoples of West African sub-region. It is by no means exhaustive, but mostly a highlight of a few interesting instances in an attempt to emphasize the significance of such contributions and the potentials inherent in further research in this area. And they will summarize a few more plants with dialectical differences between Aro and other Igbo names, some of which will also be proved to be rich in medicinal properties. Finally, we must discourage deforestation to save our tropical rainforests, which are fast depleting. Two drastic consequences of our disappearing rainforests immediately come to mind. The first is the damaging effect of climate change brought about by the loss of vegetation in the tropics, which effect is already being felt. Second, and this is very important, many important life-saving plants may be lost forever without even being discovered that they have some medicinal properties, unless we act now to save the forests. Thank you very much for your attention. Stay with me.
Please, can we give the prof another round of applause, please? Can we please do it? Because I call prof academic, this is a standing ovation. Standing ovation. Standing ovation for him.
Joe, Marco, a well-deserved round of applause, please. Here to Marco and every one of our and we thank you very much, Master, for a very
honestly, Genesis, if we don't understand any other thing, the name of Okazi, the name of Uma, the name of, at least you'll be able to get that one. But and I just had to call the chairman of the event, Justice Onwuchekwa, to come before you ask one or two questions, if you have any, to give a brief summary of regards to justice. And then we'll leave you to ask your questions or make your observations or make your input if you don't mind. But let us give the chairman the opportunity to, be able to nip the story on the board.
Okay.
So, Aro, Mamman, hurry, about the ED one school. All what I have is there. All of the one who would certificate, give a Gakotoria, one now. Here is the one I will get. I will that over the years, the University of University. He holds a DPhil from the University of Oxford. What's the one now? No, man. I need to hear those you get a conversation. Dr. Ouche, you could be about that. Now, because I saw that, you're on the ones. So, okay, but Mamman, Prof, Prof Balame is not only seasoned scientist, but he is also has professionalism in linguistics, having written a dictionary. Mana nchịkọta ihe niile o kwuru taa, ihe ma na-anụ ihe dị ka ụgba ka anyị na-ata mgbe niile, ị na-anụ ihe dị ka ọkazi, ị na-anụ ihe dị ka akị ilu, ị na-anụ ihe dị ka ọha. Ihe a bụ ihe ndị arụ na-eri mgbe niile. Ile anya ugbu a, Prof, nke a ma bụ ihe dị ka ajụjụ anyị na-ajụ. Kansa dị ibe niile. Cancer is ravaging. Echekwa cancer bụ ọrịa mmepụta. Ugbu ọ na-egbu ndị anyị left, right and center. Anyị ma achọtụ ka anyị hụ from you. Daa ụzọ aza. Ji mbedi aga. Daa aga kwee. Mana ihe kụziri anyị taa. Ezina anyị na ọ nwere ụmụ ihe anyị na-eri. Ma enyetụ aka iwedata to the possibility of having this cancer. O nweghị ihe ọdọ anyị ritere na Ikeji akarịrị lecture anyị mere n'abalị. Maka ọ ihe na-emetụta ndụ anyị every day. Ihe Prof na-ekwu bụ mgbe ị were akarị ndị na-ata, o nwere ọgwụ ị na-eri. Mgbe ị na-aracha ofe ọkazi, o nwere ọgwụ ị na-eri. Mgbe ị na-eri ofe ọha, o nwere ọgwụ ị na-eri. Mbụrụ ibe wonyere maka nke na-eme ka HIV hapụ ibe. Ọ sịkwa gị na onye ọbụla ma agbara gawa na ihe a. Imekwa nke ọgụ maara gị ịza eje. Ihe ọ na-ekwu bụ na ụmụ ihe anyị na-eri, ogiri na nne otu ya, ọ bụghị na a na-eri ka ọ tọọ anyị ụtọ n'ọnụ mma. A na-eri ya maka na ọgwụ dị n'ime ya karịrị akarị. Ọgwụ dị n'ime ya ma na enyere anyị aka ịnọ na-alụsa ụfọdụ ọrịa anyị na-enwe. Ebe e nwere ihe Prof kwuru na mgbe abalị a tinye ihe Eminence kwuru ụnyaahụ. Ya bụ na ndị ahụ nọ n'egwu. Not only that, we can promote our food, but the food we are promoting has some medicinal value for the community. So, mmụta anyị na-eji na-akpa n'ala taa, ihe ọbụla ihe m chọpụtara na lecture prof, ihe niile na-elu ilu nwere ihe ọ na-achọ. Ihe niile na-elu ilu maọbụ akara ilu maọbụ olugbo maọbụ n'ihi, o nwere ihe ọ na-eme n'ime asị mmadụ. So, anyị na-ewere nkụzi a were mere ihe, were ya build our cultural food, rather than na anyị na-eri more of our cultural food than iri rice, iri ụmụ nri ndị bekee ọzọ. Na ọ bụghị naanị na anyị na-promote our cultural food and our economy, but we're also helping to fight diseases in our body. Because on this note, I want to once again ask us to put hands together for Professor Wambo for this event. Prof, we came and went to the answer the right question. Ihe a na-eme ugbu a na kansa na bụ ọrịa ndị ojii ongeni pụtara mmiri ndewo.
Maazị ajụjụ dị mma okenye ziri ezi. Mgbe mbụ kansa bụ ọrịa na-arịa ndị bekee, ọ ihe onye ọbụla che anyị na-emesikwa na-arịa chi anyị na onye dị anyị uwe ụmụ anyị na-eto, anyị ebido n'ịhapụ ihe dị asị anyị ma na-eri ike na-abụghị nke anyị. Ọdọ ya bụrụ kemikals dịkwa na environment na-adịghị ugbu a, ma all these polycyclic hydrocarbons, mmanụ, ịza ife ọbụla, na ihe plastik, ihe ndị ọrụ adịghị mbụ. So azị anyị amatachaghị onye dị agụ, ọ ya bụ fọ kansa na-asị ebedo n'apụta, ihe sorokwa bekee na-anyakwa ya. Ọ bụrụ na anyị na-enwe ike aga maazị Uche, anyị na-enwe ike ịgaghachi na ndị nke mbiri nke anyị. N'ihi ihe a na-akpọ evolution, anyị anọọla for thousands of years na anyị bụ ihe awụ na-eri bụ ihe ahụrụ ahụ by selection, natural selection, ha ma na ndị bụ ndị dị mma, onye ka anyị na-eme. So anyị apụta taa hapụzie ihe a wechere anyị bụ ihe asị anyị ọkara ga na-eri nke na-abụghị nke anyị. Ọ ya bụ fọnt mgbe anyị. So azị anyị adịghị used to those things, bidokwa ihe anyị kansa.
Thank you very much.
Biko, mama nwere ya ọzọ nwere ajụjụ nwere ike ịjụ prof ma itinye ma iwepụ ofu biko. Nwere ya ọzọ nwere ajụjụ ọ na-ajụ prof so that we can. Okay. Professor Amabiro is actually coming on board. He's a professor of law. Mana mi ha ma ji ama law mana bukan na.
Ndị ọka mmụta
Aro mama, aro kibo mama, umwa yore. Our Secretary General, Akovala de Fiu. And this lecture, I wish it came earlier than India is eminent in Rome. Because I want to marry before I need India, then you could go. Now, I one. Why, how come I love one? Maru, so, in all circumstances, I would say the lecture came at the most auspicious time for Omar and the Aidi Loma. Kabo, when you look at page 11, I'll draw your attention to page 11. The last paragraph, giving the developmental strides of Omar, giving the mandate
given to us by God in Genesis to go and conquer our environment. Man is already conquering his environment. Will it be proper for you to advise us to stop deforestation when we are conquering the environment and building our houses? Or will it be proper to advise us to replant as we deforest? Finally, I'm a teacher of law. I'm the head of campus. No matter campus, you have two campuses, you have two faculties, agriculture and law. At Uturu, we have faculties, biological sciences, that the content of this lecture relates to. I will appeal with all due respect that these two faculties, either by donation or by outright, well, we are prepared.
Thank you very much, Mazia.
Deforestation. Deforestation will be able to Okata, obviously, I'm not kind to you. I don't know if you want to have or organic come back and Mark actually OCC. Come in, I'll be able to go here. Now, also, I have OCC Okata, Karaka, when you know when you may, in a way, you with a money, you know, OCC offer. But I go, Okata now, 100 years or so, they waited 1 year on there. So, basically, they make it good to. You may want to replace all the game because one already gone for so many years. When you make now, good to end up with okay, imagine faculty of agriculture group and law. When you two faculties, then when you get common. How about that? You see a parallel between the two. Sorry. What time where can I go? No problem. Thank you. So, well, I'm a Burundi organizer here. I think one I can bring to work on this.
Thank you very much, Prof. One question from Mazili in my time, please. And after this, I'm here to join his evidence for his remarks.
My brother Prof, open your tongue, therefore, I'll begin you were put wetara ụmụ amamihe pụrụ iche wewekwa aha tikwa n'akwụkwọ ndị ọzọ ọdịnala. Ndewo.
Maazị Obi kwuru n'eziokwu. Ihe nji anyị na Naịjirịa jisi anyị ike, anyị enweghị nakwa input na research. Ekwesịrị ka anyị nwee na universities ebe anyị kwedo na na-enweghị labs na-ekwe ka mmadụ na-eze research. N'ihi n'ezianya ihe dum na na-ekwu n'ebe a research mere na anyị bekee. Onwe nke m mere na Naịjirịa, anyị enweghị lab. Ihe m na-eme mgbe ọ bụ research m na ndị bekee na-eme. Nnọtụkwa ma gbara bịa were n'ihi o nwe facilities, o nwee ezi ihe eji achọpụta ihe n'ime anyị na-eme. So ebe obi m dị n'ihe gbasara ihe ndị nke anyị. Mgbe ọ bụla m mere ewere tụ ma akarịghị nwe extract ya ma nke ọbụla were gaa ebe ọ gaa were ya mee research a mara na na-arụ nke m ga-agụ na-arụkwa nke m abara m onwe na ndị anyị. Ọ ya bụ ihe anyị mere ma akwụkwọ ndị ọzọ na-edeba anya kwụsịba n'obiba nke iti ọdụ. O nweghị nke e mere na Nigeria. That's the sad fact. So ọ bụrụ na gọọmenti ma agbanwe a na-ewepụta ego nye ndị university ga-eme research, anyị na-emepụkwa ụdị ihe ọdịba. So for now, I think
please, can we put our hands together for him, please? Let's one more time put our hands together for him. Thank you very much, Master Prof. Thank you so very much. And I'm happy that Professor Alabi was able to say this material will be needed somewhere that will be beneficial to the University of absolutely. Yeah. So we appreciate it.
Master Waliala, thank you very much. Because I come from Master Aka, I'm not going
Thank you. Because I will call on Ohuche one more time to call up the executives. Either Dr. Very School or I want Dr. Okay, the chairman, Justice Ohuche, please call up the executives to say his remarks, and then we'll begin to wind down the show. The show is about to go. Got about justice, the chairman of this event, so please come and come up the executives. And after his remarks, it will be a vote of thanks to everybody today. Thank you.
Ịkwalite eze ahụ, his eminence, ọkafọ, ọ maka mmasị ebe ka ndị ga na-arịgarịga ndị ọmụ ndị bụ ezi ofe ije ọgwụ ya ga-asị batị nkọ zọọtọ ya gwuru anyị otu chere na nwere ndị nọ n'ahụ ọga chairman organizing committee ya Maazị ya Maazị Udochukwu ọnọkwa ya
Hand the microphone over to His Eminence.
Aro, Mamana, Okibo, Mamana. nwanyị ori ihe na mkpirikpa okwu mebutu n'abalị a anyị na-ekele prọfesọ Joe Wampo na lekchọ o nyere anyị. Biko ihe kụtụrụ na ya aka ọdọ kụtụrụ na ya ezigbo aka na ihe o kwuru anyị n'abalị a bụ ihe anyị lago n'abalị a echiche ya dịka echiche. Okwu anyị bidoro ekwu ụnyaahụ anyị sị na Ala Aro adịla mma ọkwa nna anyị sị na ihe ọma gbasara n'Ala Aro ọkwa anyị sị na ife agbasara Ala Aro ọkwa nna anyị sị na anyị ma agba mbọ iji hụ na ihe eji mara anyị dịka Aro na anyị meziri emezi anyị mezigbo anya anyị adatikata ya were ya mezie Ala Aro mezie ụmụ anyị dịka ụmụ ahụ bịakwurukwa ya gaa mkpa ndị ọzọ. Anyị rụtụrụ aka n'okwu Aro na anyị ma agbalịsi ike na-awata Igbo Aro na-akụziri ụmụ anyị Igbo Aro ọkwa agaghị zapụ ya anya. Anyị bịa fụ na mgbe a na-agụ profile prof na year 2020 ọ publishiri akwụkwọ kwuru Elementary Aro Igbo Dictionary. Prof ọkwana ịtụtụrụ aka biko tụtụ n'aka Prof anyị ma chọọ ka ịbụ onye isi oche na ndị prọfesọ ndị ọzọ na-abịa tinye gị aka ka anyị were Elementary Aro Dictionary aga na sekọndịrị ya. Ịma nkụtụ n'aka na anyị arụkọ ọrụ ebe anyị wepụsara nke sekọndịrị ihe wepụsara anyị nke mahadum ya. Ihe nke a pụsara bụ na zana ihe anyị na-ekwu gbasara okwu Aro anyị ma emetụsi ka okwu Aro n'odide ka dictionary Aro ka o zutu ezu aga ọ ma abụ maka ihe ndị gatụbara na mba dị iche iche. Ọ dị ihe anyị hụrụ ndị ọzọ na-eme dị iche na ihe ndị anyị na-eme. Ịga ma mba China ma mba India ebe ọ na-emeta ihe teknọlọji a na-emesi ike nwa anaghị eji English akụziri ụmụ teknọlọji kwụ na-eji okwu kụziere ụmụ teknọlọji aka ọmenye anya English a na-abụrụkwanye ọ na-asụ asụ maka ọ na ndị ọdụ ugbo kama ihe dịka ma nka na ụzụ ma ihe a na-emepụsa emepụsa ọ na-eji okwu na-akụziri ya ụmụ kama na ebe anyị enwere ndị English na-akụziri ụmụ anyị physics, chemistry, biology ihe ndị ọha na-agbanweju ụmụ anyị anya. Ọ bụrụ na anyị chọrọ ka ụmụ anyị mụtazie nka na ụzụ, science, technology, engineering, and maths, we must domesticate those scientific studies. And agaghị eme ọ bụrụ na ewepụsa dictionary ebe okwu Igbo Aro ziri ezi agaghị kwesịrị ịdị. Ụmụaka ndị a na-ekwuba na English anyị amata nke a na-ekwu na okwu Aro. Research ndị a prof enweghị ike ị na-eme ya jiri okwu Aro na-eme ihe research ndị ọrụ. Ọ ya bụ na
Science and Technology Usala na Aliaro. Isani Mulo, mana mapụọ n'ezi. Ọkwa nna. So Prof, ime nyere anyị aka. Ka anyị bụrụ dictionary asa na elementary na secondary. Ka ọ bụrụ ụmụ anyị mana abụ dictionary Igbo Aro. Prof, emekọrọ anyị aga ọmụ. O kwere ekwe kụtụrụ na ya aka, kụtụrụ na ya aka. Nke ọzọ ụnyaahụ anyị nọ na-ekwu okwu ndị Aro. Prof abịala osisi anyị ugbu a na ndị Aro ọgwụgwọ ọgwụ na-edozi asị. Prof ọkwa ihe nghọsara. Ile anya anyị ji ndị China na-eme ntụmatụ. Ile anya ndị China ọwụghị naanị mkpụrụ ọgwụ ndị ọcha ka wụ na-esi. Ụmụ ihe a na-ekwu traditional Chinese medicine. Ihe na-emezi maazị zana ma mkpụrụ osisi ma mkpụrụ ọgwụ ma ihe zana aliwo. O mekwara research mara nke na-enye na-agwọ ọrịa dị iche iche n'azị. Wuo detuba ihe ndị ọhụrụ edetu were ihe ndị ọhụrụ na-emezi ogbewo. Anyị na-eti Prof na research ga wepụsara ndị nka nwere medicinal value. Anyị na-eme ụmụ anyị encourage ma ndị na-eme PhD ka o tinye anya na research ka enwe ike iwepụsa ihe ndị a na-agwọ ọrịa dị iche iche. Ka anyị nwere ike ele ihe ndị a anya dịka eleliwa na-eleli kama ya mara aga m aza were ihe ndị a na-agwọ ọrịa dị iche iche. Mgbe anyị na-etanye ihe ndị Aro na-ekwu ọkụ ụmụ akụrụ dara. Somebody who suffers, high blood pressure and its related complications. If you surround him as a cannot in time, he will recover the person with Aro traditional medicines, and you will never know that the person had any such complications before. Unfortunately, the combination of local herbs that my grandfather used to give people to recover them from that event was never documented. And my uncle that was trusting that he had learned the trade after my grandfather died was not able to heal anybody. Kanocha, was he able to heal anybody? It's still a big regret to us in the family. Because if we had documented those herbs, we will have been able to use it to help them. So now is our opportunity to go back into research and through the avenue of research discover these medicinal values, and I have seen very great work that you have done here. So I want to thank you immensely. As new universities are coming into Aro, that may be an opportunity to instigate PhD students to go into research on these herbs so that we can understand the medicinal values of them and we can apply them to help our people. Na nchịkọta okwu anyị na-ekele ndị nzukọ ahụ agawoza nchịkọta anyị n'abalị a. Ntụtụ ihe mmụsa anyị amụsara ya aza n'okwu anyị bụ ugbu a anyị ma akwalite ndị oke ọmụmụ dịka ihe ndị ka anyị were ihe aga n'ihu. Mgbe nọ na-ekwu na anyị enweghị ebe a na-emeje research ndị a, ihe gbara m n'obi bụ na South Eastern University na Aro anyị ma ekwuru na ngwa ka ebutere onye dịka gị ka eme ka shọ na enwere ebe a na-eme ezigbo research n'ala Aro ma enyere anyị aka. Anyị na-ekpe ekpere ka Chineke mee ka ihe ndị a dị n'aba Jizọs.
Thank you very much, His Eminence. This is and because at this point in time we have to begin to wind down the program. I want to, before I hand over to the Mayor brother who will be saying the vote of thanks, I want to appreciate everyone here for staying up till this moment. It has not been easy all morning, a lot of activities, and you still find time to come and stay until this moment. We cannot but say thank you very much for coming. I want to also remind you that tomorrow is the biggest of all of them. Tomorrow by 11, all roads will lead to Amigbe Square, where we're going to see something very significant as far as our nation is concerned. This is the first time the Emirates are being our hosts, and you can see that something very spectacular will happen tomorrow. So all roads will lead to Amigbe Square. I will be there. You must sincerely be here, there to be able to be part of it. So very quickly, let me welcome my VP1, VPG1, Vice President General 1 of Ikeji Aro Worldwide, and his name is Mazi Anicho Okoro. Can you put your hands together for him as he says the vote of thanks? Put your hands together for him as he says the vote of thanks this night. Thank you very much. He's been all morning, he's been part of all the activities. So if he's tired, we cannot but accept that he has got there today. Thank you.
His Eminence. Lee na ọrụbeghị otu afọ ihe ọma mere n'ala ahụ wee nyere ya akwụkwọ nyekwe ya mkpara ya first class traditional ruler in Nigeria. Nzọ ahụ onye ọlawu mmarụ onye wu onye Igbo abụla na ihe dị iche adịla n'arụ. Ọ bụghị naanị na ihe dị iche adịla n'arụ, ezigbo ihe na-abata n'arụ. Ele n'anya ihe na-aga ego ugbu a 12 o'clock. Ụnyaahụ ọkwa na o nweghị onye na-agba na-enye ndị ya nsogbu na ya jere gbalawa. Onye ọbụla nọrọ ji na-ege. Ihe ọma dị mma. Chineke arịsala ahụ. Anyị na-enye gị ekele, Your Eminence. Biko jide Ikeji. Ebe ọ dị aka na ọnwa ole na ole, anyị ma na mgbe adịghị anya na ụmụ anyị nọ na-asị ụgbọrọ na wotute arụ na ọ dịghị oke ihe ụmụ na-apụta. Kama na Ikeji a ndị nwere igwe eji ekwu okwu, ọtụtụ ndị na nwa egwu anyị na igwe eji ekwu okwu. Soko na anyị emeela dominate the entire internet. Na ihe a dịka ukwuu, o nwere ndị kpọrọ ya mkpa to watch all the programs we have been doing, and they've been very, very educative and entertaining. I na-ekele gị na your vision, your wisdom, may God continue to bless you. Anyị na-ekelekwa ndị gbara gị gburugburu, our national patrons, all of them the conscience of the society. Nza Motoro Manahe, they have always demonstrated the integrity that is crucial for any society to move forward. When they stand by something, you hardly can fault it. I know see our various kindred. Only see Okenaji. Mazi Hiro, Ogara, na UK, Ogara, many years ago. Nzoma, Okubegi Anazi. Oji Ikwu, what a new wire, they
kama agha ọza na-ekwu ya na ihe ọ na-ekwu ọ bụ mmadụ ma agwa gị si gị doruo isi awa ya maazị udo Chineke anyị na-ekelekwa the chairman of Ikeji Planning Committee ya na members of all the subcommittees. Anyị na-asị na mgbe enyere inye ọrụ egwu akụkọ anyị kama ihe emeela surpass our expectations. Ndewo ndị dum bịara nọnyere anyị na mgbe abalị a ịnya abụla na ọbụghị ebibi ọ dị ihe pụtara nke kawa mkpa bụ na Pọl ọ dị mfe biko riwe na oriri arụ ihe ndị ọ na-edo n'arụ anyị topụtara ekwe ndị nna nna anyị wemara ihe ukwu ọ na-awa anyị nọ n'aga ahụ anyị a na-asị Chineke na-agawe ka chọpụta ihe ndị a ndụ anyị bidoro nwewe nsogbu mgbe anyị bịara Edo steeti Aba na asụrụ ndị bekee kama Chineke emeela ebere anyị aghọtawala onwe anyị na-abịa nkwa m chọrọ ikwe enyi n'afọ nzukọ ahụ bụ na ihe ọma na-eme n'ala ahụ ma na-aga n'ihu ọrụ anyị wee kwagide eze ahụ ọrụ anyị wee kwagide ihe ọma dum onye ọla wetara n'ahụ nke ka nke mmenye eburu abụ ekele bugara prọfesọ Joseph Nwankwọ maazị mgbe ị nọ na-ejele nchọ obi nọ na-atọ m ụtọ iji otu enyi m nwoke nọ m na mmekọ marịtara ya sị maazị ọhụụ onye obi nkịta biko Prof Dịbalịbokwu ọ dịka aka ọ dị anyị nwere ike afọ ọdọ anyị achọ another angle ka o gwa gị bọọlụ anyị ịza ala anyị na ezukeshọn kọmiti dị na ha eme ya n'anya biko mgbe agaala biko na ofe ekele mmadụ ihe emeela arụ mma mmadụ ihe ọma ori ihe Still, can we put our hands together for First Vice President General, Mazi Alicho Okoro. Very quickly, we want to call on Mazi V to close the prayer, give us a closing prayers. Mazi, can we please just his prayers will close us. His prayers will take us to our various destinations. Please just wait a minute for him to actually say the prayers before we can go. Mazi.
Imela, Okaka, Imela, Chineke, Imela, Onyama, Imela, Lalimo, Imela, Chineke, Imela, Onyama. Opposite name. Chineke ndị arụtụmụ Chineke ụwa niile anyị na-ekele gị na mgbabalị a maka mmeso ọma gị niile na narị oke Igbo nza Ikeji nke afọ nke 2024 bidoro rute taa bụ nkwekọ Igbo isii echi ma bụrụ eke ihe niile anyị na-eme na-agasịrịrị werere mmiri edo oke amụetu nsogbu adịghị mmekọasị adịghị ọ bụghị n'ike aka anyị ọza na mmesa ọmaghị ọza na obi ebere gị ngọzi gị na anyị na-asị nwere abụ ekele na mgbabalị na aha Jizọs ugbu a anyị megbara na-achị na ahapụkwara anyị duru anyị na n'ụlọ anyị n'otu n'otu ka anyị nwee ike ịrahụ n'abalị nke taa buliekwa ahụike ụtụtụ echi ijikere maka nke kaka nke anyị na-eme echi nwee ike nna aga bidoro ya ga-emejikwa ruo na njedebe ya gọzie ka arụ dị mma ka obi dị anyị mma ka otuto na ngọzi bụrụ nke gị mgbe niile anyị arịọ gị site n'afọ Nna na nwa na mmụọ nsọ. Amen. Praise God.
Thank you very much. Oglaro Mazi Emmanuel Kaniobi.